And a good late Monday morning, everyone. Roger Hill with the VELCO Weather Hazards Outlook. Big picture, as you can see here, a couple things to note. We have kind of a little bit of a weak ridge that's kind of working in across the East Coast. We have a weather system that's crossing the country. A little bit of a supply of Gulf of Mexico moisture is going to juice this up just a bit. And we're going to see a series of weather systems roll around the other side of this ridge of higher pressure, which is working in, bringing us a pretty fine day on this Monday morning. That ridge of higher pressure is going to work its way off to the east. We're going to see this portion of the frontal boundary work in with a little bit of minor snow, mainly in our northern mountains and northern tier regions. Not going to be a big deal at all, but the next weather system will be a little beefier, and it will throw a little bit more moisture at us with a warm front. That will then push on into the region with warm air advection. That's going to produce an area of snowfall that will spread in parts of southern Vermont on Tuesday night and into the day on Wednesday. Well, we'll see a little bit of accumulation. We're not looking at very much, so it's going to be well below normal in terms of thresholds. So no worries there for thresholds being reached. Yet another system is going to start to push in, and this is going to be a system that's going to bring us some mixed precipitation types, such as what we're seeing here in Oklahoma and the High Plains, Mississippi Valley. And that's going to work in along about Thursday night. So we're getting it. The progression is that temperatures get warmer, 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 and we're going to go through some transition mode here for different types of precipitation. We're back into that realm. And eventually the weekends with rain, and Friday being the warmest day, temperatures could actually hit the 40s into the 50s. And latest European model guidance was giving 53 for a daytime high. That'll take place on Friday. Beyond that, then a little bit of a cool down. Let's take a look at the models. Left-hand side, we have the European ensemble. Right-hand side, the GFS ensemble. And what you can see here is this warm-up that goes basically from the Pacific Northwest all the way into the Northeast, including southeastern Canada. This is valid at 2 o'clock this Monday afternoon, so let's run it. This is what we're seeing here. You can see it really warms up. This is getting into the late part of the week. And starting to see this anomalous warmth running greater than 10 degrees above normal. And that's these are, by the way, are 850 hectopascal temperatures. That's about the top of Mount Mansfield, about 4,500 feet elevation. So this warm-up is fairly significant. It will be warmer at the surface. And this is all culminating basically on our Friday. And then you can see that we still remain above normal, but not as much. A little bit of colder air tries to make an indent. And doesn't quite get the job done, so that beyond the period, we're looking at still a little bit of a cool down here, but another warm up on the way. And you can see the GFS ensemble and the European ensemble showing this big blob working its way across Canada. And we'll take it about as far as we can go. This is about the 5th of February. European on the left-hand side, deterministic, and on the right-hand side we have the GFS deterministic model. So as we move the model according to the hours here, this is valid on Tuesday. You can see a little bit of light snow makes it into the northern tier regions primarily. That's a pretty strong area of higher pressure, 1041 hectopascal at surface. That's pretty significant. That's going to be trying to shunt this a little further to the south, but it doesn't quite get the job done. We'll see some light snow work in, it looks like, during the overnight period, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So once again, we have a little bit of wet snow that's going to be on the ground for Tuesday morning commute. Then Wednesday morning commute, we have the secondary system working on in. It kind of falls apart. It used to be at one point some pretty hefty amounts of snow, maybe 3, 4, 5 inches. That's whittled back now to a couple of inches or even an inch. And that moves on out weekends. And then we have this system here that's going to produce the leading edge, some mixed precipitation types. And it goes basically over to rain. Best chance for mixed precipitation would be east of the Green Mountains, where the colder temperatures are going to be located. This all develops in for Thursday, changes over to rain. And then by Friday, looking at a little bit more of a significant push of rain, almost moderate at times. And temperatures on Friday afternoon peak again in the low 50s per the European model. So a little bit of a break in the action. This is beyond the period now. Once we head into the early morning hours on Saturday, we could see a return to some scattered snow showers and flurries to the northern areas with a weak frontal boundary, kind of an Arctic front that pushes back in. And temperatures cool off a little bit. Note this up here. We'll just run it as far as we can go. We'll get some supply of colder air This may make for a snowfall, but right now everything's being suppressed back to the south a bit. So you can see this next coastal nor'easter is showing up to the south. The tendency for the European model is what happens in southern New England has a tendency to spread north more easily. We'll have to wait and see. This is going to be well around the corner, beyond the outlook period. Looking at the GFS ensemble with the 3-hourly QPF, and you can see it's just a lot of noise in the machine, if you will. Not very well differentiated in terms of time, but you can kind of get some peaks here. And what it looks like with total QPF is not going to be a big deal. So we're talking maybe gaining up to about 5,500ths of an inch, 6/10ths of an inch, and then it kind of levels on out. So below the 0-degree isotherm temperature here that you see on this purple line, here's our temperatures. We max out today, colder tonight, and then the temperatures make a pretty steady rise, and we do go above the freezing mark, and that means rain. So looking at it on surface in terms of what the precipitation type looks like, you can see that green is rain, and here we have snow out ahead of it. So we get a little bit of snow, a little bit of freezing mixed precipitation, and then it goes over to rain, and that's the name of the game. So the Weather Prediction Center shows you that we're around about 5/10ths of an inch total QPF for the next 7 days total. This is our 2-meter temperature anomaly, and you can see that we're a little bit below normal in temperature, but off to the north we're seeing that above normal tick. And you can see that it's pretty cold in Alaska with some anomalous cold, but a lot of the area surrounding that warmer than normal. In terms of snow depth, you can see that we've made some major inroads here, and of course over just about the middle part of the country and points north, it's cold enough that snow had landed, and of course across Canada coast to coast and up into the Arctic. That colder air is getting flushed out, and instead we're looking at weighted temperatures for the meteorological output statistics, or MOS, around 9 degrees above normal. That's for the next 5 days of high temperatures only, and 3 days later, look at that, running about 12 degrees above normal. A little bit more of a neutral situation in the Rocky Mountain area. Most recent cold weather across North America, you can see here that it's really made some inroads. This is Northern Hemisphere, but it's really North America that has the honors, where we've actually gone onto the higher outlier amounts by year. This has been just very unstable, a very weird weather pattern this year, possibly driven by El Nino, but also climate change and a polar vortex that has been trying to modify with climate change. That's it from here, Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.